She stood at the counter, perfume bottles lined like trophies between her manicured hands. The cashier scanned the last one, smiled, then hesitated. "Ma'am," she said softly, glancing at the screen, "this card's been declined." I watched from a few steps away, invisible in plain sight. My ex-wife's face froze, half pride, half confusion, as she fumbled with her purse, laughter trembling in her throat. "That's impossible," she said, flashing the platinum card. "My husband's mother loaded it herself." I almost smiled. My mother, she meant. And she wasn't my wife anymore. We met 10 years ago, at a charity gala she wasn't invited to, but charmed her way into. Her laugh had a way of slicing through a room, sharp enough to be heard, soft enough to be admired. I was drawn to her confidence. She said I was steady, the kind of man who made her feel safe. I believed her. She believed my money would never run out. The first crack came quietly. Late nights, a phone turned face down, a scent that wasn't mine on her coat, a cologne, not perfume. I didn't confront her. I observed, listened, learned. There's power in silence, especially when the other person thinks you're blind. The evidence came in layers: a credit card bill, a hotel receipt, a text, "He doesn't suspect a thing." I stared at that message for a long time. Not at the words, but the arrogance behind them. She didn't just cheat, she underestimated me. I didn't break things. I didn't shout. I started planning. First, I moved assets, quietly. Her name came off every account, every title. The house she adored was no longer ours. The car she flaunted on social media became leased under a shell company. Then I baited the hook. When our son Ethan mentioned her complaining about tight finances, I saw my opening. I told him to hand her a card from Grandma. I said there was $130,000 on it for her to get what she needed. She believed it instantly. Greed is predictable. The card was real. The money was real. But what she didn't know was where it came from and where it led. That morning she called me. Her voice was light, flirtatious, like the old days. "I just want to thank you," she said, "for the card, for being kind." I told her kindness was the least I could offer. Then I hung up and called the bank. The account she was spending from wasn't in my mother's name. It was in hers. A joint account I had opened with her social security number tied to all her personal credit lines. Every dollar she spent came out of her own future. Every purchase was hers to pay for. Now, in the boutique, she was unraveling. "What do you mean declined?" she demanded. Her voice rose, brittle and cracking. The line behind her shifted uncomfortably. "Maybe try another card," the cashier suggested. She swiped again. Declined. Her phone buzzed. She looked down, expecting me, maybe my mother. Instead, she saw her bank balance. Negative $75,000. I'd arranged for the transactions to post immediately. Each item she bought was legally hers and charged to an account in her own name. Her lips trembled. This must be a mistake." The cashier only nodded politely, waiting. I stepped forward then, calm, deliberate. "Let me help," I said, placing a hand on the counter. Her eyes met mine, and for a second I saw recognition flicker, then dread. "You?" she whispered. "Me," I said. I leaned close enough for her to hear the truth beneath my breath. "I told you once that betrayal has a cost. Consider this: payment." Security came soon after, the manager too. They escorted her out quietly, her designer bags still on the counter, unpaid for. Outside, she turned on me, tears streaking her makeup. "You ruined me!" "No," I said, slipping my hands into my pockets. "You did that yourself. I just collected the bill." I left her standing on the curb, the smell of expensive perfume lingering in the air like guilt. Later that night, I sat in my car outside Ethan's school, waiting for him to come out. He smiled when he saw me. "Mom said thanks for the card," he laughed. "Did she?" I said, watching him buckle his seatbelt. Good. He didn't need to know the rest. Some truths belong to adults. The ones who learn the hard way that love without respect is just manipulation wearing perfume. People talk about revenge like it's fire. They're wrong. It's ice, cold, patient, and precise. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't destroy her life. I simply held up a mirror and let her destroy it herself. Now, when I think of her, the boutique, the cashier's fading smile, the moment her world caved in, I feel nothing. Not anger, not regret, just balance. And balance, I've learned, is the purest form of justice.